Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday to you. I'm Rich the Awning Guy from Window Works here, and today we are coming to you live from an actual installation in Florham Park. And a little bit about this project. Kind of hard to see from all the way back here, but this awning is about 600 pounds. So what we're looking at behind me, and today's episode is all about heavy duty awnings. What makes an awning heavy duty, why are they used, things like that. So like I said, this one behind us is a little bit hard to see. You wouldn't know it, but this is 20 feet long, and we've got about a 15-foot projection here. So why is that important? Well, I try not to geek out, but I have to go a little bit geek on you today. So long story short, I think I've said this in the past, but the further you go away from the structure with a retractable awning, the more you're defying physics. So obviously, like I've said in the past, if you go and do a little shopping at your local big box store, you're going to find that the maximum projection on one of those interesting quality systems is going to come in somewhere around 10 feet or less. And that's because the systems, quite honestly, are not strong enough to hold up to their own weight. So you'll see some lower end systems that on short projections require a post. Our systems, we carry a company called KE Durasol, based out of New York. The product is all Italian. And as my wife loves when I say it, Italians don't export junk. So back to this awning here. It's a beautiful house here in Florham Park. And the model we're looking at is called the Triumph. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late today, but this awning is so heavy that I felt bad and I wanted to give the guys a hand getting that into place. So I missed us by a few minutes, but I wanted us to be extra safe. So we have this 20-foot by 15 installed, and we're just doing the finishing touches. So we just got the awning into the brackets, and we're going to be talking a little bit about heavy duty awnings. So I left my prop in the car, and I think maybe I'll go grab it while I talk about the project here. So what makes a retractable awning heavy duty, and what are they used for? Sorry if I'm making you dizzy as we walk around here. It'll be over soon. Sorry guys. So this project right here has some interesting options that are available from our partner Somfy, which is a French motor manufacturer, pretty much the industry standard nationwide with exceptional quality. And what we have on this awning, which we haven't gotten installed just yet, is dimmable LED lights that actually attach to the underside of the arms on the retractable awning. So maybe after this thing's installed, we'll come back and visit it sometime in the future. I'll at least upload some pictures once the project's done. Say howdy ho, guys.
Hello.
All right, our installer's hard at work. 98,000% humidity. 99 degrees. I give them a lot of credit. Okay, so back to the project. What makes an awning heavy duty? So I would say a solid 33% of the time when I'm called out onto a project, I propose my recommended model and size and present a price. And because very little is known about this product, a lot of people a lot of the times go, whoa, I was not expecting that price. That is because our product is significantly more durable than the stuff that you can see on TV that comes with its own special price point and a do-it-yourself installation. Speaking of the installation, this is the installation bracket on a light-duty, cheap awning. Yes, this is an actual installation bracket, and I will drop it on the floor to simulate its quality. And this is an installation bracket for the product right behind us. Now this is a soffit mount bracket, and we are using wall mount brackets after we've attached to the roof line here. I am not going to drop this because I do not want to mess up the blacktop here, because it will. Now, obviously, these two things come with their own features and benefits and pros and cons and price points, but let me tell you, it's all about physics. I was working on a project a couple of weeks ago with an architect, and there was a spandrel beam. I won't get into the technicalities, but long story short, there were some serious concerns about how much force was being applied on the building because this was 10 stories up, and we worked with the engineers and architects on our end, and long story short, we came to the conclusion that there was about 2,300 pounds of force being exerted on each of our brackets, and the awning was only about 14 feet wide, but you can imagine the amount of forces that are applied to the brackets and to the components, particularly as you go further and further away projection wise from the house. So on this project right here, like I said, we've got a 15-foot projection, and there really are not many companies in the United States that carry products that are capable of projecting that far out. Why would you want a 15-foot projection? Well, as you can see behind me, we've got a beautiful house with a fantastic outdoor living area. And one of the things that's special about WindowWorks is when you call a custom awning company, we're not taking a product off the shelf and trying to maneuver your living arrangements to fit the product. We're specifying the product and we're customizing the product to fit your goals. So in this particular project, we're facing west. Now when I'm facing west, it's my main priority to go as far away as I can, depending on what time of the day that you use the space. Because if you're a morning coffee kind of a use, then I'm going to recommend a shorter projection or a longer projection than I would if you're primarily going to be using the space, say for late evening entertaining or just primarily lunchtime. So we take all these things into considerations before we make a recommendation on which model and which size product to propose. So back to this project, 20 feet wide and 15-foot projection. Now the Triumph is a special product, and again, this episode is all about heavy duty awnings. What makes this system heavy duty? Well, there are three main types of components that go into making an awning. Number one is an extrusion. And what you're doing with an extrusion, these are the components that make up the aluminum alloys. And again, I'm geeking out on you, I'm sorry, but this is about heavy duty. And when we're talking heavy duty, it's all about engineering. So this is an extrusion. And what you do with an extrusion is you liquefy an alloy and you push it through a die, and then you chop it off every, say, 23 feet or so. There's also, so that's technology number one. Technology number two is a casting. Also similar to an extrusion, you're liquefying the aluminum, and then you're actually pouring that into a casting. And some of our systems utilize extrusions, some of them utilize castings. And it depends on the component, and it depends on the model, and it depends on the projection. But if you imagine the human body, pretend we're holding a gallon of milk in each arm, going in and out all day long, you can imagine that it's the shoulder where you're going to feel most of the burn. It's just like the retractable awning. And there are companies out there that spend a lot of spin on what kind of technology goes into the elbow. Yes, there can be some issues, particularly as you're close to a saltwater environment on the beach, things like that. There could be potential issues, extremely limited, but in reality, your main concern is the shoulder. So we'll talk a little bit about the shoulder today on the Triumph. Now the shoulder on the Triumph is about the size of a grapefruit. Why? Because this awning, the projections on the Triumph start at 13.5. That's 30% larger than the top of the line system that you'll find at at your big box store or Costco or something like that. Sorry to drop names. Not that I'm bashing anything. It comes with its own features and benefits and price points and durability expectations. But the third technology on a Triumph particularly is it's called a forging. So if you remember the old hammer and anvil, when a knight was forging your swords, that's what a forging is. Instead of liquefying the alloy, you're just warming it to the point where it's malleable. Now, the difference between those two systems, a forge and a casting, the main difference being the fact that we did not liquefy the alloy. Why is that important? Because, again, I'm geeking out and I'm sorry, but because you did not liquefy the alloy, long story short, the aluminum is significantly harder on a forging than it is on a casting. So, what makes an awning heavy duty is the technology and the commodity that goes into the ability to support long projections. So that about wraps it up for my geek episode here, all about heavy duty awnings. So why would you use a heavy duty awning? Well, this is a product that we tend to move a lot in commercial applications. Obviously, there are a lot of square footage and a lot of seats to fill. You want a reliable product that's going to take more of a beating than an entry-level system. So we do move a lot of Triumphs. Look at that, the projection. They sent the projection out. So let's go take a look at this sucker while this thing's out, because this is one big awning. Still going. All right, so this is a long projection. Now, as you can imagine, there is a tremendous amount of force on those brackets. Now, this force is putting a lot of weight on the brackets, the installation brackets, the wall brackets, the roof, but we trust our guys and we do it the right way, and that's what we do here at Window Works. Nice looking awning here. So if you have any questions about the Triumph, or any retractable awning for that matter, oh, that looks good. I'm sorry, I'm kind of taken aback by how good a job we're doing here. Not that I'm surprised. So anyway, that's a little bit about heavy duty awnings. And if you've got a living area that has a larger than average projection, like I said, the Triumph is a great alternative or a great option for you versus you know, a light to medium grade retractable awning that'll project out only about 10 to 11 feet. So, oh, thanks, Christy. I'll make sure I take pictures there. And I'm going to get back to the installation here, and I'll get you guys back to your Friday. So, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'm Rich from Window Works, and if you have any questions on retractable awnings or anything else I can help with, visit us online at windowworksnj.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.